Julius Jones's case seeks further jury review. The trial of Derek Chauvin was supposed to start today, and the CDC releases new guidelines for vaccinated individuals. This is OU Nightly. Hello, and thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Abbi Bennett.
And I'm Kaitlyn Deggs. We begin tonight with another chance for convicted death row inmate Julius Jones.
Jones is a former OU student who was convicted of murdering an Edmond man in 1999. Today we know the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board voted 3-1 to advance his request for a reduced sentence. This could set him up to avoid the death penalty. This approval moves the request to a second stage hearing later this year. Jones is on death row at the state penitentiary in McAlester right now. His case drew the attention of reality television star Kim Kardashian and numerous professional athletes with Oklahoma ties like Baker Mayfield, Blake Griffin, and Trae Young. Last week, Jones's legal team released a video and a letter from a man who served time in an Arkansas prison with another man who claimed he was with Jones when Paul Howell was killed, which could help to acquit Jones. One of Jones's childhood friends helped rally supporters over the last 6 months.
I think once we continue this momentum, in my opinion, it's going to be very hard for the state of Oklahoma to deny the momentum in our voice being heard.
The State Attorney General Mike Hunter expressed disappointment in the board's recommendation today.
Today, inside a heavily fortified courtroom, jury selection in the trial of Derek Chauvin was supposed to begin. The former Minneapolis police officer is charged with second-degree unintentional murder and second-degree manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. But a dispute over a third charge is delaying the jury selection process by at least a day. Camilla Bernal in Minneapolis is live to explain.
Crowds gather outside a Minneapolis courthouse.
We are here today because justice begins.
Justice for George Floyd. The 46-year-old black man died last May after Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin put his knee on Floyd's neck for nearly 8 minutes.
I can't breathe.
Floyd's death sparking months of protest and a seismic shift in public opinion about race and policing.
My brother, he was valuable. He was an asset to this family.
Yes, he was.
But for this world, he's changing it. He's a global asset now.
Chauvin fired from the force and charged with second-degree unintentional murder and second-degree manslaughter, to which he has pleaded not guilty.
The matter before the court is the state of Minnesota versus Derek Chauvin.
But before jury selection started, prosecutors wanted to halt the process until an appeal over reinstating a third-degree murder charge is resolved.
This court will have to be making decisions about seating jurors for that trial, a trial that we don't know what the charges will be in yet.
The judge dismissed potential jurors for the day, but that did not stop the people outside from waving signs, chanting, and pleading for change.
We are unstoppable.
The jury selection for Derek Chauvin trial is supposed to start tomorrow, and the trial date has yet to be set. And as the spread of the coronavirus continues to slow, the state is reporting its latest COVID numbers. The Oklahoma State Department of Health reported 165 new cases of COVID-19 today. This latest increase in cases brings the state total active cases to 12,038. Oklahoma is reporting no new COVID deaths today. The CDC says the death toll in Oklahoma is now more than 7,200. And good news for those who have had the COVID vaccine. Kolby Terrell has that story in the rest of today's national headlines from around the world. Kolby.
Thank you, Abbi. With the 1-year anniversary of the pandemic looming, the CDC today released new guidelines for vaccinated individuals. The CDC guidance says fully vaccinated people can now visit other vaccinated people without masks or social distancing. It also says that they may skip quarantine if they show no symptoms of the virus after being exposed. Now, the CDC still warns against making travel plans and recommends masks in most scenarios, but This could be the light at the end of the tunnel for those who are ready to see masks disappear. And the House will vote on the president's $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill tomorrow. If the law is passed, it could come into effect early next week. The vote will likely go through on a narrow Democratic majority like it did in the Senate. This bill would give many Americans assistance in the form of $1,400. President Biden hopes this bill will prove that the United States government still works and that lives are improved because of it. And President Biden also plans to address the nation Thursday for the first time since taking office. This address will mark the one-year anniversary of the nationwide shutdown enacted due to COVID. Former President Donald Trump addressed the nation on the same day last year, just hours after the coronavirus was declared a global pandemic. Now 1 year and more than 500,000 deaths later, Biden's address will likely come after signing a $1 trillion stimulus package to deal with COVID's effects. Now, it's a beautiful day out there, but Abbi and Kaitlyn, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Kolby. It's a beautiful day out there, and Marcus Ake, we are joined in the studio.
Yeah, temperatures have been pretty great today across the state of Oklahoma. Temperatures right now in the upper 60s, even the lower 70s across portions of the state. Tulsa out in Lawton at that 70-degree mark, up in the mid 70s up in the Panhandle, and boy, is it a windy, gusty day today. Wind gusts out of the south, 30 to 40 miles per hour at times east of I-35. We are down into the mid 20s, but nonetheless definitely windy out there today. Combined with the winds, and these warm temperatures, we do have some risks of fire across the state, so we do have red flag warnings in effect for the day tomorrow across northeast Oklahoma as well as the Oklahoma Panhandle. Coming up in Maine weather, Reece is going to tell us a little bit more about this warming trend and just how warm we're going to get, as well as how these southerly winds are affecting our allergies and maybe some rain for the weekend. Ladies, back to you.
Thank you, Marcus. And if you're a woman seeking refuge from an abusive relationship, a resource center in Norman wants you to know that they are here to help. OU Nightly's Emma Sears joins us live with that story. Emma?
March is Women's History Month, and the Women's Resource Center of Norman is taking this month to encourage and empower women to reach out for help if they need it. Since 1975, the Women's Resource Center has been the only agency in Cleveland County that meets the needs of women who are victimized by domestic and/or sexual violence. In Oklahoma, the statistics of women being abused are higher than other parts of the country.
1 in 4 couples report having domestic violence in their relationships. In the state of Oklahoma, it's 1 in 3 reported. So what's interesting is that when you look at the numbers for Oklahoma, we unfortunately have been like one of the worst states.
Deborah Hooks has been working for the Resource Center for nearly 10 years and believes that the key to stopping this trend is advocacy.
And the one consistent number is that 95% had never ever been in contact with an agency such as ours. So they had no access to us, or they didn't know that we existed, or had no way of getting to us. So what we're trying to do is, again, just be more mindful of getting the information out that agencies like ours do exist.
This March, the center has launched a social media campaign to get the word out about their services, to encourage people to reach out if they are needing help. The Resource Center offers services such as emergency shelter, counseling, and prevention education. Aside from their office building, all locations are kept private to secure the privacy of the women and children seeking refuge. Emma Sears, OU Nightly.
You can look up Norman Resource Center on Facebook or Instagram for more information.
And coming up next, a California search crew saves the lives of 9 people stranded in the cold this weekend. Find out how these people are doing today when we return.
Plus, a volcano eruption shakes a Central American country. Straight ahead on OU Nightly.
A A volcano in Central America explodes and causes abundant amounts of ash and lava. Deyton Deller has that story and more in today's Earth Report. Deyton.
Thanks, guys. A California search crew rescues 9 people stranded in snow and sub-freezing temperatures this weekend. Officials say they received a call regarding 2 vehicles with 7 people inside stuck in Northern California. After responding to that call, another vehicle was found 10 miles away with people that had been without food or water for more than 24 hours. All 9 have been rescued and are safe without injuries. And just moments ago, Wells Fargo announced that they will be setting a goal of net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. The announcement comes as a major step for the company after they had backed coal and fossil fuel projects that climate activists have warned threaten the planet. Wells Fargo has also announced that they will be designating $500 billion to support wind, solar, and other sustainable finance projects by 2030. And after Guatemala's Pacaya volcano erupted on Wednesday, it has continued to maintain high activity since. On Friday and Saturday morning, the volcano underwent more strong explosions that pushed ash and lava 1,600 feet above Pacaya's crater into the atmosphere. No injuries have been reported, but Guatemalan officials have told surrounding villages to evacuate. And in other news, a collaboration between NASA, the USDA, and George Mason University has developed a tool that will give access to high-resolution data on soil moisture for farmers and other agricultural professionals. The tool is available for free online on NASA's website. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Deyton. And coming up next, former UK Royals Harry and Meghan were interviewed with Oprah last night.
Stick around to find out more on what Royals had to say about their experiences with the royal family. And I'm hoping the weather stays just like this for the rest of the week. Reece, what can we expect to see?
Yeah, plenty of sunshine and warmer weather up for this week. We'll talk about how long that's going to last coming up. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I hope you were out there enjoying the sunshine today because we had plenty of it, and the warmer temperatures too. 68 degrees right now at the OKC skyline cam. A lot of high clouds out there with that dew point making it feel very dry. Current temperatures across the state as well. 60s and 70s for everyone. It is again a beautiful day, but we have those warmer temperatures and dry air. So we do have the drought monitor to keep an eye on, and that's going to be pushing its way eastward throughout the week as we stay dry and those southerly winds. And the winds are going to be very gusty over the next week. You see we're going to be 30s and 20s tomorrow. And as we head into Tuesday night, we're going to be pushing up wind gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour. So be sure to hold on to your hats if you have one on. Again, Wednesday night, we're going to have 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts again before those finally calm down heading into Thursday. Lows tonight across the state, 50s for everybody. Again, 10 degrees above normal. We're very warm for this time of year, and it feels really great outside, so be sure to enjoy it because we are going to be warming up all the way into the 70s before we finally get a cool down at the end of the week into the 60s with some rain chances, bringing us back down towards the average. Again, you can see warmer southerly winds push through, and then that cold front's going to start to dip through Thursday into Friday, bringing us those cooler temperatures and some calmer weather. And for the rain outlook, the next 6 to 10 days, we're going to be a little above average here in Oklahoma, while the western part of the country is very dry. And the future radar is going to show us Thursday morning, afternoon, we're going to start to get that line of showers coming through from the south because of those southerly winds. And some of this stuff could be heavy to severe. We'll be keeping an eye out for you here at OU Nightly throughout the week. And again, those rain showers are going to push all the way into the end of the weekend. And for the 7-day forecast, Tuesday tomorrow, 69 degrees and mostly cloudy throughout most of the week, but 70s Wednesday and Thursday. Now, ladies, be sure to have the sunglasses on. Back to you.
Thank you, Reece. Former Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, and her husband gave a revealing interview last night. More than 17 million viewers watched as Markle told Oprah about her turbulent experiences with the royal family. Markle said the family expressed concerns about the color of her baby's skin and took away security services for Meghan and her baby. Husband Harry said that one of the reasons that they chose to leave their official positions was this, along with concerns for Meghan's mental health.
And now that the regular season games are out of the way, the Big 12 men's basketball brackets are set. Katie Arata joins us with more on what's happening in the world of sports.
Yes, Abby, and it looks like the Sooners are set to play the Cyclones this Thursday at 8:30. And speaking of Big 12 champions, the OU wrestling team competed for the Big 12 title this weekend. Find out where they placed when we returned. Sports is next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Katie Arata, and it was another busy weekend in the sports world. Let's jump in. The OU wrestling team tied Oklahoma State for the Big 12 championship. This is the first Big 12 title for the Sooners since 2002. Redshirt junior Dom DeMays defeated #1 seed Ian Parker, giving him his second Big 12 title of his career. DeMays, as well as Tony Madrigal and Mitch Moore, are all qualified for the NCAA championship on March 18th in St. Louis. OU softball returned home for the first time this season, and with no surprise, they went 5 for 5. The Sooners pitching only allowed 2 runs all weekend, both in a 5-2 victory over the Mizzou Tigers. And on Sunday, sophomore pitchers Brooke Vistal, Alana Theed, and Olivia Raines combined to throw a perfect game versus San Houston State, the second for the Sooners this season. OU will take on the Diamond again versus UT Arlington on Wednesday. And on Sunday, Oklahoma women's basketball team closed out the 2021 season with a 90-81 win versus Kansas State at the LNC. The Sooners sealed off the season with a 12-11 record and will head to Kansas City this weekend for the 2021 Big 12 championship. Head coach Sherry Colt attributed the win to Taylor Robinson's success on the offensive end.
That's what it looks like when everybody wants the ball. Taylor got going north and south, which is super important. Every time she does that, everybody else is the benefit of that. And then she is as well. She had some great finishes today, but it just changes things. It messes with the defensive assignments. She draws so much attention that if other people want the ball and move into open spaces, you get a lot of high percentage shots.
In sticking with basketball, the Big 12 has released the bracket for the 2021 men's tournament. The tournament will take place in Kansas City and begin Wednesday with the #8 Horned Frogs playing the #9 Kansas State. Later that evening, the #7 Sooners will take on #10 Iowa State. The quarterfinals begin Thursday, and if the Sooners beat Iowa State, they will play the Kansas Jayhawks at 6:30. The championship game is set for this Saturday at 6 on ESPN. As for the women's basketball, there's still one more Big 12 to play before the bracket is finalized. Sooner baseball played in the 5th annual Frisco Classic this weekend. After coming off of 2 straight losses to Arizona, the Sooners took home a much-needed 16-6 win over Mizzou. But on Sunday, the Sooners fell to Dallas Baptist 9-3. And the 2021 NBA All-Star Game is officially in the books. Team LeBron defeated Team Durant 170-150. Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo was named the Kobe Bryant All-Star Game MVP, finishing the game with 35 points and 7 rebounds on a perfect 16 of 6 from the field. Giannis' shooting performance was an All-Star record for the most shots attempted without a miss. And it looks like that's all the time we have for sports. Make sure to tune in to Sooner Sports Pad tonight on Fox Sports Southwest. Back to you, Kaitlyn and Abbi.
Thanks, Katie. And an autographed rookie card over 2 decades old sells for a record amount.
Stick around to find out more on who it sold to and for how much when we return.
I'm Kaylee Tingelstad at the OU Nightly Update Desk. New numbers from the Transportation Security Administration show almost 1.3 million people passed through airport security checkpoints Sunday. That's the highest level since January 3rd. Analysts believe more people may feel comfortable flying as they get vaccinated for COVID-19. Major airlines are optimistic that the industry may be starting to recover. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Kaylee. After the big Super Bowl win over a month ago, Tom Brady is still turning heads. A Brady rookie card just sold for more than $1.3 million.
This card is now the costliest trading card in the history of football. The co-founder and CEO of Fitbit, James Park, is now its lucky owner.
And thank you for tuning in to OU Nightly. We're live every weekday from Gaylord Hall at the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 4:30. Good night.